All right, guys, we're gonna be reacting to some Myrone Gaines live debates. He was killing it. I saw a little bit of it, and I was like, man, I have to react to this. Let's jump in, guys. See what's going on.
A deal with Pirates of the Caribbean, lost a lot of money, lost a lot of support, both financially and in his career, lost roles. And, everyone believed Amber Heard, a.k.a. Amber Turd. And what ended up happening was he took it to trial, and it was one of
Nope.
and it's a one-party state, so it's actually illegal to surreptitiously record someone. But he did it, and it was able to protect himself, because if he didn't have those recordings, who knows where his career would be now. And to this day, I don't even think he's been paid full back all the way. He just basically wanted to clear his name, but the damage was done. And I think that Johnny Depp case shed light on a very big societal problem we have, where women are able to exploit rich and powerful men for their own gain if they don't like the cards they were dealt after the relationship ends. I suspect that's what happened with Shannon Sharp. That's what happened with Andrew Tate recently with this girl, right? She hired the same exact lawyer that Shannon Sharp's accuser did, and she pumped her crypto coin. So it's like becoming egregious now, right? And I also find it funny, so I did a whole breakdown on this. When she revealed the pictures of her being abused, she had symmetrical injuries. So like what? Did Andrew like smack you on one side and then say, okay, hold still, and then bam, smack her again? Like, no, dude, like clearly the girl tried to use the injuries that come from like Botox and everything else like that to say that she had been hit. So that's another example of just the ridiculousness of the Me Too era and where we kind of stand. But it's good to see people waking up and finally questioning a lot of these women that are just looking for a come up. But yeah, anyway, besides me just yapping, anyone that wants to come up and challenge one of my views or agrees, disagrees, give your 2 cents, you're more than welcome. I think all of you guys are somewhat smart. You're here in college, right? Unless you cheated on your SATs. But is it still SATs or ACTs now? It's SAT. Okay. Damn, I'm old. So I know different places take the ACT, but yeah.
Come on, let's go.
Oh, look at that. Everybody's scared, man.
Yep.
They were mad before. Oh, this guy's a miss.
Yeah, but when it's time to just really debate, they're all scared, right? Let's see what's going on here, guys. Let's see. What's the first dude here? Hold up.
Would never be able to participate. Like, that's the reality, right? And I remember when I was in college myself, I was a Division I athlete. I rode at Northeastern, and the women's team got a significant amount of money. Oh, we have a. What's up, man? How are you? I guess I could come into that after.
It's my work.
What's up, bro?
I seen some of your podcasts and stuff like that. I haven't watched the full thing, but I really just want to know, like, why do you think women deserve less? Because it's like a controversial. Obviously, it's gonna catch people's attention.
Sure.
They see it.
Sure. When I say women deserve less, it's for a multitude of different reasons, but I'll just focus on, like, let's say dating for now, right? So guys have this, warped ideology that being a gentleman and being super nice and, being caring makes you more attractive to women. But the reality is, attraction and arousal are two different things. And by being a nice guy, what ends up happening a lot of times, you get stuck in the friend zone. And what I tell guys, and I talk about this in my book, guys got to give women less. If you look at the cover, I have money there, relationships, social media, and time. And the reason for that is because we live in a deregulated sexual marketplace. And what that basically means is, assuming two parties have the age of consent, anyone could hook up. Now, we thought this would be a good idea in the 60s with the explosion of feminism and birth control, etc. But what ended up happening was, when you leave women to their own devices, they date the best guys that they can get. And that problem's been exacerbated as they become more educated and made more money. So it's left a lot of normal guys out of the realm. So what I tell guys is, you need a woman that's going to reciprocate that attention, because we're in a position now where they have all the leverage, and a lot of guys are over here courting and dealing with women that, quite frankly, don't deserve it. So when I say women deserve less, there's other aspects too, but that's what I mean, as in, like, dating. Don't simp on women that already get everything given to them.
There you go. That's the baseline here. Simply don't simp.
I hope that answers your question.
Yeah. Isn't that just like a generalization though? Because I feel like it's case specific with every person. Like when you say that, it's like, you matching one archetype of man with another archetype of women, and then you making that the case for everybody?
Well, I think the world operates on generalities, right? There's a reason why
He's
Braille isn't
smooth,
everywhere
huh?
because there's not that many blind people, right? So, in general,
Yo,
you know,
Myron has gotten old, man. But what he's doing right now require this amount of work, guys. Sadly, it's how it is, man. It's how it is. It's how it is. This, yeah, man. If you go 3 years ago, back up 3, 4 years, he looks very young. Now he looks. Personally, I like him more how he looks right now. He looks like battle scars. He looked like now he has the battle scars to just confront the enemy, metaphorically, of course.
know, being a nice guy is going to set you back. Now, are there some girls out there that are, will reward you and give you sex and a blowjob for being a nice guy? Sure, but the reality is, being a nice guy typically always puts you on your back foot. And I think in
100%.
today's day and age, where women have an enormous amount of leverage in the dating marketplace, guys need to kind of go in there with their eyes wide open so they don't put themselves in a bad situation. So generalizations are typically how the world works. Of course, there's always going to be anomalies. There's always going to be exceptions to the rule. But I think in general, men need to operate from a position where they're mitigating risk and not investing too much up front. Because
100%.
we have way more on the line than women do when we get in relationships.
So you say like sex. Do you think that's the end goal of a relationship? Like, where do you view that?
Well, it's the main agency that women have.
What if you don't give them that agency though? If you have like different priorities, generally, like
The man or
yeah,
the woman?
the man.
Yeah, that he has a good point here. But in order for you to even get to that point, you have to work in that mind for years, guys. First of all, when you're young, your the testosterone are very high, your libido is very high, so it's hard for you to even contain that energy. So that in itself is gonna be you're putting this weight in the man, and we know it. We have religion, we have stigmas, we have a lot of things that make sure we can control that energy. But we're not seeing the same energy apply to the opposite sex. We don't see it, guys. We don't see the chain. We don't see the propaganda. We don't see even the method. They actually be glorified than using sexuality as their power.
Okay, what do you mean by that? If you can kind of...
Like, if you don't go into a relationship just expecting to get that out of it, then there's really no leverage there if that's not something you really want out of that
Yeah,
person.
that's a good
Well,
point.
a lot of the time that's cope, right? So like guys will sit there and they'll be taking a girl on her seventh date. They've been talking for like 3, 4, 5 months, 6 months,
Yep.
and they'll sit there and cope, be like, "Oh no, like I'm just building something up," but the reality is she's fucking some other guy, right?
Good point.
And the reality is that men need to understand that women, right? They sell purity, they sell sugar and spice and everything nice. But what will happen is they'll open themselves up sexually to the men that they respect and are aroused by, and then make the nice guy wait, right? And they're able to kind of double dip doing that. So I think with guys, they got to basically push for sex fairly quickly in a relationship to ensure that they're not getting used.
I think with
Because
Joe,
that is their main, I mean, just let's be honest here. Like, that is their main commodity, their main agency. Like,
I wouldn't
if
say
women
that.
didn't have vaginas, we wouldn't care. No one would talk to them.
Good point.
I
There we
wouldn't
go.
say that, because that's like half the population. You just like dehumanizing half the population with that statement.
See, and this is the problem right here. Nobody dehumanizing everybody. We just talking the truth. And this is more about that academia kind of language that you see. It's more of that academia language. It has nothing to do whether we're discussing the truth or the lack of substantial evidence to just back your statement. It's just a very surface level type of shame language.
I mean, well, it's the reality. We're put on Earth to procreate, correct? So men, our job is to provide resources. Their job is to extract resources, and it's been this way since the beginning of time. The only reason we're able to have this whole, moral situation is because of modernity and the access to technology and how we progressed. But the reality is, in times of when times are not peaceful, we get closer and closer to our traditional gender roles, right? There is no feminism when the lights are off. There is no feminism with war. There is no feminism when it comes to preserving society and moving on forward. So, the reality is that that's why the genders deal with each other. Men provide resources, women provide access to sex.
That's it. That's it.
I'm gonna come back.
Hey, good player, man. That's it. That's it. And remember, guys, let's just calm down here with the man, right? Remember, the man, especially boys, are being indoctrinated since they're being out of the womb to just act like this. This is not his fault. This is information. In order for you to get this information, you have to go through somebody like Myrone. How Myrone has gone through the turbulence to become the man that he is today. So let's just give this guy some credit. He did a good job just getting that information. Good for him. Let me know what you guys think. I'll see you in the next one.